Yaddle Chattle.
And it's a Star Wars podcast with excitement, with electricity, with anger, with fighting, with fun, with joy, with happiness. We're going to get into debate today. We're going to get into all the fun kind of things that you love out of a Star Wars podcast. We're the most original Star Wars podcast, I think. Not the best, but the most original. Because on this show, you may see the co-hosts attack one another physically. I have been going through a bunch of Star Wars podcasts lately, and Rebel Force Radio still is number one. Yes. I'm going to throw that out there.
Okay.
A lot of the podcasts have very soft-spoken gentlemen or gentle ladies, and it's very much, welcome back to a Star Wars podcast, and today we're going to be looking at some of the decisions Kathleen Kennedy made, and listen, I ain't fucking judging you. Wait, hold on. Yes, I'm judging you. You suck. I mean, with all due respect, if you talk like that, I'm saying, with the monotone and the whispering and this and that, and I understand some people think that our show is just too fucking hopped up on excitement. Well, that's what Darth David does, and that's what Jedi Jared do, baby. That's right. That's who you're listening to. My name is Darth David. I bring the Sith point of view, and he is Jedi Jared. He brings the nice point of view. I'm nice. I'm Jedi Jared. That's me. But you are nice.
I try to be nice. I was thinking maybe one episode we can do an entire NPR style Yaddle Chattle.
No, never, ever, ever. No, because we don't need to. Because that is the vast majority of Star Wars podcasts out there. What I was trying to do...
You want to, like, talk into the mic and be like, welcome to WTHX.
Just very quiet. Very quiet. With all due respect, we're not shitting on other podcasts. We're not. But there is something, occasionally when I'm tuning into a podcast, for Christ's sakes, a little juice. Give me a little juice. Give me a little bit of excitement, a little bit of electricity. As I said, Rebel Force Radio, they do a great job. And the reason why I'm bringing them up is because I heard from their show about something called the Patterson Cut. And I need to discuss this right off the bat with you, Jedi Jared.
Okay, not to be confused with the Topher Grace cut.
No, and we will be discussing Ahsoka Tano. The new Ahsoka series premieres just days from now on Disney+. We're very excited for that.
Less than a week away now.
That's right. And we will, of course, get into a little bit of a preview, because next week, obviously, we're going to cover both episodes in what should be a really fun time. So today, we're going to get heavy into the Ahsoka preview stuff, some predictions, some what do you think is going to happen with this person, that person, and all that kind of stuff. But before we do, I got to say, and again, the shout out to RFR, Rebel Force Radio, for talking about, they said something about a Patterson cut of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I said, what does that mean exactly, the Patterson cut? And I found out that a proper, official, professional. An actual, now you just get a little closer to the microphone, Daddy.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Sure, there you go.
Sure.
Now, the professional film editor took the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and cut it into a 2.5-hour movie.
Wow.
And I go, oh shit, I got to see this. I went all over YouTube yesterday. All the fuck over YouTube. And I saw a zillion podcasts talking about the Patterson cut, but no one was giving me the Patterson cut. No one was showing the dates, man, the fucking Patterson cut. I got this goddamn nerd talking about the Patterson cut and that nerd talking about the Patterson cut, but where's the goddamn Patterson cut? So I finally Googled, I should have done this to start. I simply Googled, how do I see the goddamn, and I said that in there. I wrote G-O-D space D-M-N. How do I see the goddamn Patterson cut already of Obi-Wan Kenobi? I found Patterson Cut apparently has a website, and then you can download it. So I'm doing this whole long process. I still have not watched it, but now I have to figure out how to download it to my TV. So I think what I'm going to do is download it privately to my YouTube channel.
Oh, I think you
and I can watch it on my YouTube privately and not get in trouble and not have the fucking thing shut down and stuff like this. By the way, I was in the pool and my hair looks like shit and I got sunblock on, and that's the reason for this, folks. I didn't just, smash my head into a plate of cocaine like Al Pacino and Scarface. It looks like I got fucking coke all over my goddamn face, and I've been doing fucking lines. Say hello to my little friend over here. Okay, listen, this is the pool look. And I'll be honest, when I do pool straight from Yaddle, I look like shit.
You look fine, Dave.
But I don't care.
You look fine.
So here's what I'm going to do. You like this idea? I'm going to put the Patterson Cut into...
Can you Chromecast? Do you have Chromecast?
Okay, louder.
I'm asking, do you have Chromecast?
Do I have Chromecast? I don't know. I'm an Apple guy.
Well, no, I think you can Chromecast from an Apple phone. I think it's just the device you need.
What's wrong with my plan?
I mean, you could do that too.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel, and this is being uploaded as we speak in 4K.
Okay.
And then this way I can go to my YouTube channel privately.
Just be careful.
Well, if you can upload anything privately.
Oh,
I uploaded myself jerking off once. Just to see what would happen. Private video. It stayed there for a couple weeks. I took it down.
There was a time where you could make that on your YouTube page, like back when the internet was the Wild West. Like the late aughts. Yeah. 2007, 2008.
Right, when it first came out. When YouTube first came out.
You could totally watch fucking porn on there.
So I got to give credit to Rebel Force Radio for that, and I have to thank them because I'm extremely excited as soon as we are done with Yaddle Chattle. Oh, real quick, Yaddle heads, if you're watching this video and it's raw, it's because we actually are recording this on Friday. We usually do Yaddle Chattle on Thursdays, and we upload it late Thursday night into Friday morning, and then Friday morning, you're ready to go, whether it's YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, you have all your Yaddle Chattle, you're all ready to go, except we couldn't record on Thursday, so we're going to record it today and upload it today. That won't affect the MP3 in any way, shape, or form, so all the podcasts are going to sound as normal as always.
RSS feeds.
But the video is back. It might be the basic video that we started with Yaddle Chattle. It took us like 20 episodes to actually upload the videos to YouTube.
Wow.
And
I thought there was a good reason for that.
And it was very, it's a Velvet Underground type of scenario where it's just a one shot and literally nothing else. No font, no names, no displays, no lower thirds, no graphics of any kind telling you what the show is, who we are.
Thank you, Bobby.
But, and that's because Bobby Tamburo does a fantastic job producing the show in post, editing it, putting it all out there. He's doing stand-up comedy tonight. So if the video looks raw, that's the reason, but next week it'll be back to normal. If it doesn't look raw, it means Bobby literally edited this before his stand-up comedy set.
Because he's a magician.
On his fucking phone and sent it for us. So I don't know how that's even possible, but he actually said, I'll try to do it on my phone. I go, don't you worry, I'll do it up raw because it's more important to get the Yaddle heads their content, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, the Yaddle heads like it raw.
This isn't a fucking disgusting rap song. You understand me? So are you going to check out the Obi-Wan the Patterson Cut? And
can you send me the link in approval?
I can send you the link, absolutely.
Uh-oh. Watch it.
Or just do what I did. Google, how do I watch the goddamn Patterson Cut? Spell it out like that, and it will take you right to his website.
That was kind of the original thing, wasn't
it? That was it?
It was supposed to be a movie.
I think is it possible that they just took a movie and expanded it to make it a series, and that's why there was some uneven. According to people, I'm a fan of Obi-Wan Kenobi, the series. Actually, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I love the show.
Things
that they put out.
I loved the series. I thought it was great. But I do understand that some people thought it was a little bit rambling, and we don't want, rules being changed. Everyone's getting stabbed with lightsabers and this and that, and then they live.
I'm pretty sure that was like all of episode 4 felt like episode 4 was the one where they do the rescue, and it felt a little like they kind of dragged it out a little bit. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that Stuart Beatty wrote this screenplay about 10 years ago or so. Yeah,
I don't think that long.
No, I remember him talking about wanting to do an Obi-Wan movie.
Yeah, but they wouldn't.
Long time.
He wouldn't. I know, but that wouldn't have happened until Disney purchased.
Well, no. At least
Star Wars.
Ewan McGregor was talking about wanting to continue to do Star Wars even after immediately after episode.
I guess
they were like,
you know what? Disney bought Star Wars in 2012, right?
Something like that.
So that would be 10 years ago. That would be actually 11 years ago. All right. I can see that. Well, let me get to this next story then. Okay. Before we get into Ahsoka, we're going to hit some news. And that is that, according to Deborah Chow, Obi-Wan Kenobi has pitched her...
Oh, Ewan McGregor?
Excuse me. Ewan McGregor.
At this point...
He is Obi-Wan to me. I love me some Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan.
I feel like he's...
No disrespect to Alec Guinness, but I just love him.
At this point, can you say that Alec Guinness played old Obi-Wan
Yeah.
Kenobi?
That's the way I look at it.
Ewan McGregor is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And I'm an original trilogy fan, and at this point, Obi-Wan is Ewan McGregor to me. He is.
He's been playing him the longest.
And it's no disrespect to Alec Guinness, but Ewan McGregor's phenomenal. And his performance is important and awesome because it actually deepens and it makes the Alec Guinness's performance, and even the Alec Guinness version of Obi-Wan Kenobi is better, I think, because of Ewan McGregor. And the main reason is because George Lucas and folks said, Obi-Wan Kenobi in A New Hope, he is supposed to be a badass. And all you have to do to get an example of that is look at the cantina. In 2 swings of his lightsaber, he kills a guy and chops another guy's arm off. In 2 swings. But at the same time, he was an older man. And he didn't move that well, right? I'm talking Alec Guinness. And so I think we needed to see the Ewan McGregor in his prime, Obi-Wan Kenobi. To me, then all of a sudden, when you see the Alec Guinness version, you can recall this guy's one of the most badass fucking Jedis ever of all time. And so when you see the old one, but that guy's still a bad motherfucker underneath there.
Yes.
Ewan McGregor, apparently, according to Deborah Chow, has pitched ideas for season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I don't blame him. He's like, I'll produce it. I'll do whatever. He wants to keep doing it.
And this news story just came out. And again, I said this before and I'll say it again. If Ewan McGregor wants to make another Obi-Wan Kenobi project, whether it's a show or movie, do it! He is one of the best attributes that you have. This is a highly respected actor who's had tremendous success in movies and television with his various performances throughout the years. He brings a gravitas to Obi-Wan Kenobi. He still looks great. And he's creative as all hell. Let fucking Ewan McGregor be the goddamn Dave Filoni of Obi-Wan Kenobi if he wants. Seriously, you have an asset in Ewan McGregor. Don't squander that. Take advantage.
I think
someone wants to do something with John Boyega. Doesn't want to do anything, does he? He keeps saying, no, fuck Star Wars. Harrison Ford's done with Star Wars, right?
Yes.
Mark Hamill barely wants to do anything. Not everybody wants to fucking do Star Wars. I bet you Adam Driver's never going to do another Star Wars movie again.
No.
A lot of people don't. Ewan McGregor is an Oscar-nominated actor who wants to do Obi-Wan Kenobi shit. Disney, do it. Thoughts and opinions, Jared, you're on the button.
No, I thought next to Andor, that was probably one of the best things that they had put out in 2022. I liked it a lot. I thought it had a lot of great scenes. Can it be argued that there were some points in the show that kind of dragged on? Yes, but that's because, like we just discussed, they had to take a television show or a movie that was potentially anywhere about 2 hours long and make it into, a 4-hour plus series.
Yeah, I wonder why they, in the end, even decided to do that. Because,
well, I can tell you why.
If they had just put out an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie.
If they were going to put out an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, it would have had to have been in the theaters.
Well, it couldn't. Wasn't it still didn't Obi-Wan Kenobi come out during the lockdown? Or is my timetable fucked? I thought Obi-Wan Kenobi came out during the lockdown.
It came out in 2022.
Well, I don't remember anything.
No, well, because we started this.
I'm a Sith Lord. I have I have concentration on other shit.
We've started this podcast a little over a year ago, correct?
Longer. This is our 68th episode. I don't know how.
So we've been doing a year.
I can't believe we're both still alive, and both of us have all of our arms and legs. I was certain. Every once in a while, though. I feel like this will get us big ratings.
If you cut my head off.
A beheading? Remember all those how many goddamn views those Iraqi videos got in 2003?
Back when YouTube was new and you could put beheading videos on the internet?
Let's do that trend again. Only we'll fucking cut your goddamn pumpkin head of a fucking melon off. And we're going to do it live on Yaddle Chattle. Maybe I'll even do some sort of chanting, some Sith chanting, because that worked well for the beheading videos. Some kind of Sith chants. I'm going to have to look it up. Will you agree to that in our 100th episode if we need some ratings, if we need a ratings bump? Will you agree to something getting chopped off?
Wait, then I don't have to do the show anymore, right?
So hurtful when he says things like that. It hurts when he says things like that. He's always looking to get out of Yaddle Chattle. He doesn't want to be tormented. Jedi Jared doesn't want to be tormented by Darth David anymore. Well, too bad, pal. This is your fucking eternity.
This is my...
You can quit after 10 years of Yaddle Chattle. 10 years.
Okay.
And maybe actually I'm going to bump that number up to 20.
Well, judging by how well Disney's doing... the writer's strike. I don't know if we're going to have 10 years worth of Star Wars content coming up.
We might not. A lot of pissed off people.
It just seems like Disney can't do anything right. Lucasfilm can't do anything right.
To certain folks. Not to me. Andor was perfect. The Star Wars fans, there's a short-term memory thing going on. If we're going to be fair, didn't most of us like Episode 7? We did. Most of us liked Season 1 of The Mandalorian. If not, we're fucking thrilled about it. Most of us were thrilled about Mando Season 2. Most of us loved Andor. That's at least 4 projects. No, but I mean, come on. It's not like it's all shit. I'm saying if
I'm not
Oh, wait, most of us liked Rogue One.
Yes.
That's 5 fucking projects. I'm being like, because I like the other shit, but it's not like it's nothing.
All I'm saying...
It's 2 movies and 2 or 3 movies and 2 or 3 TV series most of us liked. Look, hasn't been a total disaster the way every fucking...
No, I
Star Wars hater makes you want to believe it has.
I agree. When the highs have hit, they've been very high highs. However, there have been a lot more lows.
But what I'm saying is, have there been? Or has it been closer to a 50-50 scenario? But that's not acceptable. If it's Star Wars, this used to be gold standard stuff. 50-50, it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be hit or miss.
Again.
It should be a lot of hits. Hit. If you have the occasional, head scratching, what was that? That's one thing.
Well, I mean, we had that with the Bad Batch. After 2 pretty good animation shows.
They gave us the worst animated series they've done thus far.
And
without question.
I don't know.
I don't even rank that one. I rank Clone Wars, Rebels, Tales of the Jedi before I rank Bad Batch. Bad Batch is so fucking down on the list. Look at me. I was trying to be the positive one. And now you've brought Darth David right into the fucking goddamn Sith temple.
I think,
the underworld.
I think I've proven that point then. Again, everything's all up in the air. we know that we're getting what, like we're getting Ahsoka next week, and then we're getting Skeleton Crew and Acolyte. We know that at least those things are actually happening because their
writer's strike isn't fucking them up, because Mando season 4, I believe, would have started now, or at least they would be doing pre-production, but now the strikes are killing Mando season 4 right now.
We also know that we should be getting an Andor season 2,
and they're killing that too, because Tony Gilroy said he'd be writing it.
Well, I thought they already were almost. I thought the whole thing was he was almost done with it. And that
he knows what he wants to do, but there was more writing. He knows the outline of what he wants to do, but there was a lot of writing of details to be filled in, and that can't proceed because of the strikes as well.
Jesus, I thought that he was like almost done, and that he was the whole point was he wasn't going to write on set, and that they were just going to film whatever he wrote.
No, but I can tell you a little bit about Tony Gilroy. Because Vanity Fair did an article on Tony Gilroy discussing the final episode of Andor. The Vanity Fair writer called it a perfect episode. Which, by the way, I love the finale. But I think if you're going to talk of perfect episodes, episodes 6 and 10.
The prison break,
but also the bank robbery.
Yes.
That was such... Go back and when the Prison Break is truly one of the greatest things Star Wars has ever done. Ever! But episode 6 with the fucking bank robbery and the flying the ship with the stars... Holy shit. Go back and watch episode 6 of Andor. It's amazing. It really is.
You know what we should do? In a couple of weeks, we should each pick our top 5... Like, go back and rewatch some stuff. Top 5 Star Wars television moments or episodes.
Episodes. All right, I like that.
And we could each compare notes.
Well, bring that up. Bring that up next fucking for next episode. You son of a bitch.
Okay.
Don't forget that's your. Let's see, 68th episode. That's your second piece of show prep you've done in 68 episodes. So thank you for that. But Tony Gilroy was saying. He was very cool in this article. He was saying how I approached Andor is I told everyone on set, if you have a good idea, please tell me the idea. And he said that he got a ton of ideas from cast and crew even in that final episode, including when the guy murders one of the stormtroopers with Marva's brick, her funeral brick. That was, I think, thought of by the actor, the big guy, Andor's friend.
Yeah.
And all this type of shit. And Tony Gilroy says it's all about trying to get as many good ideas possible.
Oh, yeah.
I was surprised by that, because I always thought Tony Gilroy is like, I don't know, I'm not going to call him Stanley Kubrick, but I thought he was kind of a one-man, like, it's Tony Gilroy's vision, and fuck y'all. So I was pleasantly surprised to hear this. He even says in the same article, he's taking ideas from the nurse on set. The nurse on set gave him an idea, and he's like, that's a good fucking idea. We're going to run with it.
Well, you see, that goes beyond an auteur. Kubrick was tyrannical.
He was the exact opposite.
He was like,
no fucking nurse on the goddamn Shining or Full Metal Jacket or 2001 Space Odyssey. No nurse was going to tell Stanley Kubrick what to do with his fucking movie.
Like, all right, we're going to do a shot at 90, like perpendicular to you. So you're standing here and we're recording you like standing 90 degrees. Yeah. Now we're going to move 5 degrees left. And then we're gonna shoot the same exact thing.
And
then
we're
gonna go
try
5 degrees to the right
to go into business for yourself, you were gone. What would happen is he would walk up to you quietly and give you exactly one warning, which is,
I'm gonna give you one warning.
No, he didn't talk like that. That's a Woody Allen thing.
He was from the Bronx.
I know, but you did a Woody Allen impression. He had a deeper voice than that. He was more like this.
I'm gonna give you a warning.
No, I'm gonna give you a warning right now. You're gonna put the camera where I fucking told you to put it, or you're gonna get yourself a new fucking job. And that's what he told a guy on set at on one of his fucking movies, very early in one of his movies, maybe Path to Glory or something like that.
Barry
he
Lyndon?
wanted a specific. No, way before Barry Lyndon. Okay. By the time it was Barry Lyndon, he was Stanley Kubrick. No one was going to say something stupid.
That was post Strangelove.
No. Yeah. No, this was.
When he was working for the Rand Corporation.
This was either Spartacus or I want to say Path to Glory, which was his war movie before Spartacus that also had Kirk Douglas, which is why Kirk Douglas asked Kubrick to do Spartacus, replace the director. And he said, I want this like film lens and I want the camera to move like this. And some fucking British guy just said, well, I don't feel like building that whole apparatus, so I'll use a different lens and I'll just move the camera like that. And Stanley Kubrick's like, that's interesting. That's not what I fucking asked. I want the fucking track shot because it's going to look a lot cooler rather than panning the camera. You fucking cunt. So he goes, so use the lens I told you to, put the camera where I told you to, and move it the way I told you to, or get the fuck off my set. And you say very, very quietly, ba 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 bum bum. This is my that was I wanted to use my phone is the Yankees song New York, New York by Frank Sinatra. Unfortunately, the Yankees fucking suck. So I have all of my joys wrapped up in Ahsoka because the Yankees destroyed my fucking life. My whole goddamn fall was going to be all. I have football.
You have the Giants.
I have the Giants. But I count on the Yankees for, fun Septembers and Octobers. And when they suck the ass, that really hurts. Don't worry, I got Ahsoka.
I feel like you should go back to being Philly Dave. I don't know about you Yaddle heads in Branch East Side Davidians. I miss Philly Dave.
Philly Dave?
Yes. Philly Dave was you did a character where you used to be like the big New York guy in all the New York sports.
Yes.
And then you went, I'm a Phillies fan now, and I'm Philly-centric.
Well, because the Yankees were missing the playoffs that year. Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So now it's time to bring back
in 2008, the Yankees missed the fucking playoffs, and the Phillies won the World Series. No, this is what I always tell people. We do it from the Jersey Shore, okay? Look up Asbury Park on the map, okay? It's an hour from New York, and it's an hour from Philly. And as a result, we're right in between. When I was a kid, I used to get channels, New York channels and Philadelphia channels. I grew up a Yankees, Giants, and Knicks fan. But when I was like a kid, I was baseball obsessed. So I tried to watch as much baseball as humanly possible. I would never root for the Mets. So I would watch the Yankees when they were on. But if they weren't on, Channel 29... for the Phillies, Mr. Harry Callis, legendary announcer, Juan Samuel. And here comes Von Hayes to the plate. And that was my thing. So I always liked the Philly. Don't give me that I'm anti-Philly.
No, I'm not saying.
It's just that my mom was born in New York City, in the goddamn Bronx.
No, I get that. It's just you went like full on, I love Philly.
Because I do.
It was a great character.
I'm right in between. Now... that's the Tony Gilroy shit. I want to tell you.
But to go back to what Tony, before we get to that.
Yes.
I think it's an incredible skill to recognize, and you don't see this that often, to believe it or not. It's actually an excellent management skill to be able to recognize good ideas from anyone. A good idea is a good idea. It shouldn't matter where it comes from.
Oh, I agree with that.
So
I agree with that. I'm always open to your ideas and Bobby's ideas. It's just that most of your ideas are shit. But I'm open to them. I just have to go like this. That fucking idea was terrible. Nope, shitty idea.
I
Shitty.
think you're in the Stanley Kubrick camp.
I want to hear as many ideas as possible. Don't blame me when your ideas suck.
Then you need
Tony
to make
Gilroy
them better.
didn't say he greenlights every idea. He says he goes with every good idea. The word "good" is an important adjective there.
I'm pretty sure I've had good ideas, but they didn't come from the mind of David.
That's not bad. I go with everything. Right. Yaddle Chattle heads just heard us. You brought up top 5 whatever bullshits, and I said bring that in next week.
Oh.
That's a fucking example right off the bat of me going with a good idea because I said, okay, that's a pretty decent idea for a change.
I finally had a good idea.
I know, but you're saying that I never fucking take your ideas. I can point to one on this goddamn episode. Now, Dexter Jettster. We have brought this guy up more than most Star Wars podcasts.
Because he's a great character.
The fucking chef. And what would you call him? The cook? The diner cook in Attack of the Clones.
He's Ted from Alice?
Right. The guy from, you know.
He's Al.
Or Al, or whatever.
From Happy Days. He's
literally wearing a wife beater. You know, you're not supposed to say wife beater anymore, but they gave it a new name. It's like a wife greeter or something. He's wearing a white tank top.
They have another word that's another phrase for that, but it's inappropriate.
Yeah,
it's even less inappropriate.
Oh yeah. And he's wearing the chef thing. We all know who he is,
he's
right?
He's the forearm. He's wearing an apron.
And he's a big four-armed, alien monster. But he was the one who had the good conversations with Obi-Wan Kenobi and helped out Obi-Wan figure out where that dart came from, because he was a weapons expert and could trace the origins of each weapon.
Now he runs a diner at the
Now he runs a diner for some weird reason. They didn't explain that.
Well, no, isn't that usually like the case where it's like the guy has like a seedy like John Wick almost. Like they have a backstory, a previous life where they were.
So he's one of those types.
Assassin.
So he's basically like a mob witness. He's
he's
pulling a Sammy Bull. He got kicked out of New York and had to go to fucking Arizona and call himself Pete or whatever.
He's trying to put that life behind him.
Yeah, there's Sammy the Bull. Except Sammy the Bull started fucking selling drugs again like a moron.
Yeah. No, this guy actually probably likes working in his slop house.
Yeah, no, he's having a good time. So he's selling fucking Java juices going left and right. Or it's a front? Or did he like that during episode 2? Because a brand new book is coming out.
About him?
No, it's the Points of View book. It's this is a series of books. I think they did at least one other, maybe two other. But they've done one of these before, where they get 30 to 40 writers to write very small,
short stories,
2 to 5 page stories.
Oh wow!
On all kinds of sequential. What's the word? Side characters.
Got it. Okay.
Non-stars. You're not going to get your Luke Skywalkers.
Yeah, you pitched a show like that. It was all
like... Yeah! They ripped off my fucking idea. I had that idea years ago. So, this one is Return of the Jedi, A Certain Point of View. It will be out in bookstores on August 29th. And they gave us the story of Dexter Jettster. I always have a tough time even saying the fucking name.
Like Derek Jeter?
Yeah. But apparently, Dexter Jettster is ravaged with guilt that he was the one who got fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Jedi's massacred. Because if he hadn't told Obi-Wan Kenobi where the dart came from, maybe Obi-Wan Kenobi wouldn't have gotten those clones. No, but it was only once the Jedis got the clones or found out about the clones that they decided to use the clones. Remember, had they not even found out about the clones, who's to say they would have ever used the clones? Those clones could be sitting there on that fucking planet.
I think...
What's the name of the planet? Well, whatever. Those clones could be sitting there as we speak. But let me read you the excerpt, because the excerpt is funny. This is from the fucking short story itself. Quote, Dex wasn't sure whether the warrior had died. He's talking about Obi-Wan. Whether let's just say Obi-Wan had died on the front or during the purge, Order 66.
Yes.
Though he prayed it was the former. He couldn't bear the thought of his friend being gunned down by his own men. Dex could never forget how the Jedi temple blazed in the night, how the smoke billowed days after the fires were quenched, how the air tasted of ash because his diner was on Coruscant, and how soot covered his diner for weeks. No matter how frequently he and Wanda cleaned. That was his waitress.
Oh my God.
Nearly 1,000 years of peace reduced to dust. It'll be fine, honey. You'll see, Wanda had said, reminding him that droids rarely saw beyond their programming. She broke down 3 years later. He lost the diner soon after.
Holy shit.
The end!
That is
The fucking... I know, right? Why is that so depressing? And before I make too much of a big deal about it,
Jesus Christ.
Disney, look, I'm not going to get carried away. But I'm going to have a little fun at the same time say, this is a small microcosm in a fun way of actually what is a bit of a problem with Disney Star Wars. Taking characters and making them depressing as fuck. I've told you, the original trilogy characters, Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker's a bitter, broken down old man who dies alone. Han Solo is a guy who has lost his way, lost his pizzazz, and then tries to get his son back, fails, and gets murdered by his own son and dies alone pretty much. And fucking Princess Leia dies alone, gets put in a goddamn corner next to a bunch of junk, and they put a fucking tarp over her like she's the fucking lawnmower in the wintertime. They put a goddamn tarp over Leia. It's very depressing. And I know that this is a stupid character. It's Dexter Jettster, and I shouldn't be taking this so seriously.
That is some really...
But it's just... Yes, it's fucking depressing. The fucking droid's the only one who's trying to Wanda. The fucking droid. Can I get some Java juice for you, honey? And she's trying to make Dexter Jettster feel good. Don't worry, he'll be okay. She fucking breaks down. She fucking she breaks down 3 years later, and the whole goddamn diner goes under shortly after. Wow. You know, Disney,
I don't think
you do know that these movies are supposed to be about hope, don't you? They're supposed to uplift, raise spirits, make people forget about life for a couple hours and feel good about themselves. The most depressing thing I've ever heard.
No, the only thing that would have made that more depressing is that, like, he kills himself or something like
Who's to say he didn't? I honestly feel it's gone in that direction. Can I just read the last couple paragraphs?
Look.
Near 1,000 years of peace reduced to dust. It'll be fine, honey. You'll see, Wanda had said, reminding him that droids rarely saw beyond their programming. She broke down 3 years later. He lost the diner soon after. And the fact that there's spaces between all these things tells me this is the end. This is how they ended the fucking Dexter Jettster fucking
and then Dexter
hung himself like fucking Brooks in the Shawshank Redemption.
Damn it, you stole a joke. Damn it.
I can fucking read your mind. Darth David is a fucking Sith, bitch.
I was going to say, and then he checked into a halfway house.
His name. I'm not your bitch. I saw into your fucking skull and knew you were going to do a fucking Brooks Shawshank Redemption reference. I saw it in your mind.
Because it's so fucking depressing.
Never underestimate my Sith powers again.
It's probably one of the more depressing fucking movie parts.
I know. All he had to do was double bag it. Just fucking double bag it. Is it that hard? Or how about the fucking asshole manager from the grocery store? Hey, dickwad, maybe get better quality bags. The fucking old man shouldn't be forced to goddamn double bag in every fucking goddamn grocery checkout.
I saw an automobile in the early aughts. Now they're everywhere.
Now, one other thing I got for you. Lightsabers. What do you think about lightsabers these days?
They're still pretty cool.
Okay, because I have noticed something, and some people are talking. Under the Disney era, streaming services, not the movies.
Okay.
Under the Disney era streaming services, they're going with the on-set lightsaber and then enhancing it with CGI. rather than going with an entirely computer graphic lightsaber that basically they did for all the Star Wars movies, including the sequel trilogy. They had Adam Driver hold a red lightsaber, but they took out the lightsaber and completely CGI'd his red lightsaber over it. Apparently now they're sticking with the green or red lightsaber and just enhancing the shit out of it with the CG. Some people are noticing that you can actually see it if you pause when, Obi-Wan or Vader are moving their lightsabers and they're going fast, that you can actually see the on-set prop a little too good.
Huh.
And that is something that I have noticed myself, and I have to be honest, it is... No, I don't want to talk about Ahsoka yet, because I got, let's see, I got one more thing before we get into Ahsoka talk. But that is something I have noticed specifically, though, with those orange lightsabers, or whatever those bad guy, good guy people are in Ahsoka. They look nothing more than this to me. Huh. They don't look different than this. And you want the whole thing CGI'd to give it that unique property of nothing on the planet. This could not exist on the planet Earth. Because you can get fluorescent fucking light sticks on the planet Earth. I want the fucking laser and only the laser.
Okay, I agree with you 100%. And I think part of that actually has a lot to do with the definition of our televisions. And I know I've brought this up before.
Fair.
Because...
1 point. Because that was fair.
Thank you, Mr. Champion.
Don't gloat! I'm thinking about subtracting that point that I gave you with the gloating. But I'm not going to do it yet. Because did I tell everyone he brought me kielbasa? Do you even know what that is? Some people don't, Jared. Go ahead, you can talk.
Oh, okay. So...
This is what Jared got, Yaddle Chattle.
It's a half a kielbasa.
Looks like a horseshoe.
It's very tasty.
How come the horseshoe shape? Is this a sausage,
it's
right?
One link. It's a link, yeah. So I cut.
Yeah, but why is it like a horseshoe? Why isn't it straight?
Because I had a piece and Molly had a piece, and
all right. I don't know how. Hold on.
That's how it comes.
I know, but they don't fucking sell buns in goddamn horseshoes. How am I supposed to eat this in a fucking bun? Is what I'm saying.
Straighten it out, or actually, you probably could cut it up into little pieces.
No, cut it up into little pieces. I'm not a fucking infant. I don't cut up hot dogs. I eat them like a man with a goddamn bun. Some mustard on that shit. Let's go.
You get some pierogies and you cut them up into pieces.
I showed the Yaddle heads. It's shaped into a fucking horseshoe. How the shit has any Yaddle heads see goddamn horseshoe buns? Let us know. YaddleChattle@gmail.com.
Okay. I was actually I started watching 2001 because it was on HBO Max last night.
Okay.
And it's in such high definition, you start noticing...
It's one of the most beautiful looking movies of all time.
It is. But in the higher definition, it takes a little bit out. Like, the picture's so good, you could see the skin on the actors, like the actual, like, flesh, human flesh, and the actors who are the monkeys.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
It takes you could see, like, that I watch it on regular, like, when I used to watch it.
Besides the monkey part.
No, but, like, even that part, like, that was I watched that and then I went to sleep.
Yeah, but the monkey part is the first 7 minutes of the movie.
No, but the point I was trying to get at is it looks so, like, it's in such high def, you can see all the imperfections.
So that's another reason to do it CGI. And not rely on the on-set lightsaber.
Well,
they shouldn't be doing an on-set lightsaber. It takes away the specialness of the lightsaber.
I agree, and I think that I don't even know why they would do that. Honestly, I don't get it.
Money. Of course it is.
Cheaper to enhance it.
If you take Kylo Ren's lightsaber and you have to replace it with a jaggedy all CG lightsaber, which is what they did, that's a lot more money than taking someone's just red lightsaber and enhancing it via CG. Of course that is. So yeah, it's money. Bob Iger.
Eventually they're just gonna have, like,
It'll be the fucking lightsabers you get at Disney, like this one. And I'm telling you. That's what it'll be. All right, I got one more thing, and then it's Ahsoka.
Okay.
Right now on YouTube, it's 2.5 minutes long. I need to give credit to this person. It's a Yoda nature documentary where there is a British man.
And this is where the
That's exactly
Yoda
what it sounds
lives,
like.
in the planet Dagobah.
Yeah.
So it's going for like a David Attenborough.
Yes. Yeah. It's
I
okay.
I actually saw the picture on Instagram. Someone did
Schrodinger's
Film Club.
Schrodinger's Film Club. God damn, I can't read. Schrodinger's Film Club is where you want to go on YouTube.
Schrodinger's Film Club.
Schrodinger's Film Club, and look up Yoda nature documentary. It's only about 2.5 minutes long. It's so well done.
This is them in their natural
pictures.
habitat.
I know, but you must see these fucking pictures of these Yodas.
Oh, those.
And
It's
it's just wonderful. You get a whole village of Yodas, and specifically, it's a Dagobah thing. You're getting like a village of Yodas on Dagobah. By the way, something I always thought about, and I think this is a good jumping off point for this. The documentary. And it was just something fun, 2.5 minutes, like I said, because I love Yodas. So goddamn, the fucking show's called Yaddle Chattle. I like seeing different kinds of Yodas. That's why Grogu was so fucking exciting. Oh my God, a baby Yoda? So, no, I remember, it was that exciting for me. I love a Yoda. And this has got all kinds of Yodas. Lady Yodas, men Yodas, old, small. But something occurred to me. When I was a kid, I really felt that Dagobah
was Yoda's planet.
Yes. Or that is where Yoda was like born and shit. And maybe even because Dagobah is so strong with the Force, maybe Yoda's hatch on that planet like fucking gremlins. I'm not kidding. Maybe that's where they come from. But maybe something happened 500, 600 years ago where the Yodas did get wiped out.
Like a diaspora?
A Sith, a fucking, some kind of evil entity killed the fucking Yodas. And Yoda went back to Dagobah remembering that this is my ancient ancestors' origin home planet. And so that's why he's hiding back at Dagobah. But my thing is that this Yoda village, and you'll see one of the pictures in the thumbnail of this episode, that this was Dagobah. That they were like a primitive, they're kind of like Buddhists. Primitive Buddhist culture. Buddhists aren't primitive. I'm combining things. But like a Buddhist culture that lives a very basic lifestyle on Dagobah 500, 600 years ago. They got wiped out. What do you think? Davey Mack added that shit to it.
According to Wikipedia,
Please.
They don't actually have Yoda's species listed.
No, I know. There's still a mystery.
But I remember in high school, a few hardcore Star Wars fans, the ones that would like read all the books and all the comic books and stuff like that. Shout out to Rich and Rob.
Rich and Rob, baby.
They told me that Yoda's teacher, like Yoda's master, was of his species, but was orange.
Okay. Yeah, I got no issues with that. I got no problem with that.
But
what do you think about my idea? Okay, let me ask you this.
I could see that would be the premise, but it wouldn't be on Dagobah. It would be something similar to Dagobah, because the whole point of Dagobah was to protect Yoda's.
But my point is, the massacre happened 700 years ago. Between 5 and 700 years ago. Yoda's basically the only person who remembers that Dagobah existed, and or that there was even a whole bunch of little. And I think they were all crazy Force sensitive. Every single one is like insanely Force sensitive. Yoda remembers this, but most of the galaxy doesn't because they're not 700 years old.
I like your original idea.
Come on, baby.
I like it. Here's the however. if you recall in Clone Wars, it was Qui-Gon Jinn who comes to Yoda and tells him to go to Dagobah.
Yeah, well, maybe Yoda forgot. He's fucking senile. He forgot about his nice little place. You ever drive somewhere, you're driving around, you go, fuck, I used to live around here. Does that ever happen to you? It's happened to me before. I'm a 45-year-old man. Sometimes I'm driving, I go, oh shit, I used to live when I worked at the Dublin House, the Irish pub I used to work at in the year 2000, I used to live in that fucking dump. In goddamn West Long Branch. I remember that place. That's never happened to you before? Maybe Yoda all of a sudden he's driving, oh shit, I remember Dagobah.
I've had that recall being in locations that I probably haven't been in. So yes, okay.
Okay, let's get into Ahsoka.
Sure. We're less than a week away.
Excited as hell. First off, are we going to learn where was Ahsoka Tano in the original trilogy? And if we are going to learn that, what is Jedi Jared's prediction?
She was training Sabine. They were off having some adventures together, and she was training him, or her.
Okay.
Because they've kind of inferred that Sabine refers to her as master. And we really didn't see that any kind of dynamic between the two of them.
Why didn't either of them, Ahsoka and or Sabine, I mean, how come they both didn't say, hey, shit, we should join into this galactic struggle here? We know a lot of people on the rebel side. We should probably help them out.
I think what you're probably going to see is Hera was involved, but she was also raising a kid.
Oh, she has the kid? I forgot about the fact that she had a kid. Oh, wait, do you think they're going to bring that kid into this show? Because I haven't seen the clip of the kid.
I mean, the kid was...
That kid looked goofy, dude. No, come on.
I mean...
Come on, folks.
It's
the last episode of Rebels, I totally forgot about the fucking kid.
It's a hybrid...
What was his name? Jason? His name was like Jason? Or am I thinking Heir to the Empire?
Maybe it's...
Because Luke Skywalker had her. Somebody had a Jason.
Yeah, well, that's
Jason Solo or some shit.
Jason Solo.
But the kid was like this little,
Well, because she's one species and he's another species. So it's a hybrid species.
I know. The kid looked goofy. The kid looked goddamn goofy. It was not a great, well-drawn character.
I think that was supposed to make it look like this is what happens when these two...
Yeah, I don't need to see the kid. Shit! I'm actually a little bit panicked.
Why?
Because of everything I fucking talked about with the Bad Batch.
Yeah, but you're gonna see Chopper.
No, but what's one thing I have fucking hit on?
Omega.
Diminishing returns with kids in Star Wars.
Okay, so this is...
We got it first with Ahsoka, and I said she's the best. She's the template. We shouldn't keep doing it. Then they went to Ezra in Rebels. And while I'm excited to see what's going on with Ezra now, he wasn't as great. Then we got fucking Omega, and she fucking sucks. The character sucks. There's all these little kids in Star Wars, and they take away. They really do. I'm not sure I want to see Ezra's son. Or Hera's son.
I don't know if we're actually going to see him.
Hopefully not.
At that point, he could be a grown-up. But also at the same time, you got to keep in mind, he's...
Not really. A kid will be... Well, I guess the kid would...
Because if this...
How many years is this after episode 4? 7?
More.
8?
12.
12? Okay. 12?
12-ish.
All right.
9 to 12 years.
But he was a baby, right? So he's going to have to be a kid. So he's still going to be like, he's going to be Omega age fucking kid. Oh, God damn it.
Okay, but here's the positive part.
Yeah.
There's no naivete that Omega has. Like, oh, look, it's dead. What is this thing? Oh, my God. We got to do this. It's like, no.
True.
He's been raised in space by a military commander and doesn't know who his father is because his father died sacrificing himself to save his family.
Tell you what would be heavy.
So
if we find out that Hera lost her son, that he got killed.
Yes,
and
however,
she's like extra Rambo. He got killed by the Empire. And she's like, now I really need to kill a lot of motherfuckers.
I think that'll either be that she was kind of took a behind the scenes role as because she was a mother, but she also was a military
She's
commander.
in Rogue One, though.
She in Rogue One?
She's in Rogue One. You hear Captain Syndulla over the loudspeaker. And you see the ghost in the ship. The ghost is one of the ships.
Okay. So, I mean, she's there, but also, I just think that she might have taken a back role to being a parent because she was stuck with this kid, a single parent.
I hate to say it. I want the backstory to be that the kid got killed. Wait,
But
this takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi?
If it does, yeah.
6 years? 6 years? After Return of the Jedi?
If it's taking place in Mandalorian time, then Mandalorian takes place 6 years after Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
The first season.
All right.
So it could be even more. He could be a young adult at this point. I don't know, to be honest. That's up to whatever. Even if Filoni even retcons it and the kid's not even there, he could totally do that too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
How
think.
How about this for Ahsoka, where she was in the original trilogy? Jail.
Could be. Or she was out.
Carbonite.
I mean, the whole point was to stay dead, right? She knew. Well, they were also looking for Ezra. Like the whole thing, this whole season, I think, is going to be about finding Ezra and finding Thrawn, because we see that in the what?
So that's the mission. She was looking for Ezra all over the goddamn galaxy.
Thrawn.
Okay, fair enough. Next one. Do you think Ahsoka Tano is alive during the sequel trilogy?
So that was what I was kind of disappointed with, that they don't mention her at all, and now they're backfilling it in. So I'm going to assume she might die before then, or at some point she leaves.
She is 40 around now,
I guess.
Right?
Yeah.
So the sequel trilogy, she'd be about 70.
She'd be an old woman, yeah.
Yeah. But then again, we don't know how those creatures age. I feel like they age in a relative human type fashion,
Probably.
but maybe not as quickly. You know, maybe maybe a 70-year-old is more like 50.
Yeah, but wasn't Alec Guinness, like Obi-Wan, supposed to be as old as Ewan McGregor?
I always said it's
something
because
like
he had
that?
awful British skin on a fucking planet with two
thought-
goddamn sons. What do you think is going to happen? You ever see George Hamilton? He looked like he was 75 when he was 48 because he couldn't lay off the fucking tanning bed. All right. So you don't think Ahsoka Tano's alive in the sequels? Because I was thinking I would like her to be alive in the sequels.
Well, I mean,
If she's an old woman, she doesn't,
what would be even better is to see her come back in the Rey.
Well, that's why I think it's important for her to be alive during. I'm just saying she's alive during that era, because if she could, because yes, maybe you do introduce her in Rey.
We'll see what Filoni has planned.
All right, fair enough. Next one, Ezra. Is he evil? Are we going to find evil Ezra?
No.
Is that going to be the twist?
No.
Ezra's back. Oh, what happened to Ezra? He's got red eyes now. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Ezra's going to be the MacGuffin.
Yeah, but is he a bad guy? MacGuffin. Is that the twist? We finally got the MacGuffin. Now the MacGuffin turns out to be a piece of shit.
No.
I think there's a chance. He always flirted with the dark side. The Rebels show flirted with Ezra going to the dark side, or at least being very attracted to some of the Sith traditions and ways of thinking. And I think there's a chance Ezra is a dark side user. Davey Mack prediction right there. That's a Darth David for you.
I have a theory.
Bring it.
I don't know.
Bring it, because that's what Yaddle Chattle's about, my friend. It's about theories.
Okay. We've seen...
Go ahead.
We've seen a new kind of Inquisitor, right? With a double-edged lightsaber.
Well, I was thinking, is that the guy that it was in season 2? He was one of the Inquisitors who, remember they were in that Sith temple and Ezra was walking with Maul, and then Kanan and Ahsoka were walking somewhere else, and they had one of those guys. That guy looks like the guy from. There was 3, I think, or 2 or 3 Inquisitors in that scene, but there was one with the helmet that looked very similar.
I think it's Ventress.
Okay,
It's either
that's something I would like to say.
Ventress.
You think Disney could keep that quiet though?
It's either Ventress or the other, the Jedi that turned bad. That was like Ahsoka's friend.
No, she got put in. Well, okay, she could have escaped prison. All right,
fucking Jedi.
That's true. I thought she had been put to death, but you're right. We didn't see that. We just saw her being taken away and put in jail.
So it's either was it
Well, who gives a name? I know what you're talking about. Season 5, she was the lady in the last 4 episodes who was responsible for the bombing, and she pinned it on Ahsoka. That lady, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's either
she looked like to me she looked like playing cards. Like a 7 of diamonds.
Well, because she
come
had
to life.
She had those things on
the
henna on her
maybe that's
face.
what it was, Jabbit.
It's either her or I think it's Ventress.
I like the Ventress thing much better than that one. No one's gonna remember that. But if you get Ventress in there, that would be huge. That would something that would pop the Star Wars fans. The animation fans.
You got to keep in mind that both of them. One was a friend who turned on her, so that's high drama. That they come back and they're reigniting this hatred for each other. But also at the same time, Ventress was the other apprentice, right? They were kind of dueling apprentice trying to impress their masters. So you have that dynamic too. They both had double lightsabers, all that stuff. Both were complex people, so it would be very interesting to see if it's one of those two people.
Okay. Thrawn.
Totally excited to see live action Thrawn.
Thoughts and opinions.
I think it's great that they got Lars to come back and do it.
But what is he? A crime lord?
Well, I think.
Or is he just, running away, trying to not get killed by the rebels? Or really by the New Republic?
Well,
is he a war criminal just, on the loose?
I think that most people think Thrawn's MIA. Because you got to think that, or he's dead because they haven't seen him.
How about this? Thrawn is the guy who conceives of the idea of the First Order.
Potentially.
See, I think that's something that would be reasonably intelligent to do. Because now you're kind of at least getting that fucking connectivity going. Because these Disney Plus shows have really not connected us to the sequel trilogy. They've connected us to the original and the prequel trilogy quite well and quite often.
I think that they've been doing that over time. I mean, you got to remember those tubes.
That's the only thing I remember. Those Snoke, you're talking about in The Mandalorian where they went into the laboratory, the Imperial laboratory. Yeah.
And then the season finale of Mandalorian
season
3 was about what's his face?
Gideon?
Gideon being able to genetically engineer himself to have force powers. Well, how do you create an avatar that's able to use the force?
You steal the force from Grogu. I've been saying that forever. But now that we know that Moff Gideon is cloning himself, were those pods Snokes or were they Gideons? See, that's the thing. I thought they were Snokes when we saw them in Mando 2, but now it's Mando 3. Those could have been Moff Gideons.
But you got to think about what there's like a bigger picture that Filoni's trying to do, and he's doing it over a slow course of time. So we're seeing clones again. We haven't seen anything in the original trilogy about clones except the mention of the Clone Wars in episode 4, right?
Right.
We didn't see any retired clones. The stormtroopers weren't considered clones. All of that came in with the prequel trilogy. And now we've kind of gotten clones again with the sequel trilogy with having Sidious.
Okay.
The Emperor.
Fair enough.
So now it's up to Filoni and Favreau and his whole crew to kind of backfill the mythos with the cloning shit. So don't be surprised if this bad guy survives the Bad Batch season to see an older version of him in this Filoni-verse.
Wait, which bad guy?
The guy who was trying to get the clone.
Dude.
What?
They are not going to be bringing Bad Batch shit into this fucking shit.
Okay.
Not, some of the Star Wars fans out there, yourself included, like to think that everything is connected or
it's a universe.
No,
it's a galaxy.
And or everything is important. These creators don't view everything as important, and I'm letting you know. No one thinks the Bad Batch is important.
Sorry. I don't think the Bad Batch...
It wasn't a good show.
I don't think the Bad
Batch...
And
they're not stupid. Filoni knows that. Filoni's not sitting here thinking the Bad Batch was great. So you're not going to be getting Bad Batch fucking people in this shit. You don't need to You don't need to force in every goddamn Easter egg and have a zillion mashups. Nor do you have to fucking get so crazy on bringing animated characters when you already have brought one.
They literally.
I just said when you have already brought one, who is the goddamn titular character in Ahsoka, and you got all these rebels who are going to be on the show. Let's keep it fucking simple and not go for every goddamn little small animated character. I don't want to see the Bad Batch anywhere near live action. Because the show was bad. Sorry, but it was.
Okay.
It was. Did you like the Bad Batch?
No. I only liked the episodes with the sniper.
Crosshair. If they give us a Crosshair show, I'm all in. Crosshair rocked. But the rest of the show was Saturday morning shittiness.
I know, I understand, but just let me try to explain my
Go
logic.
ahead.
The last arc of the Bad Batch was about the cloning technology that was...
I mean, are you going to the beach? What's with the hat? I just wouldn't notice. You got a little hat on. What is this?
It's my
straw
hat.
Or something?
Yeah, it's my hat.
Yeah, most people don't wear a hat indoors, but I guess, it's Yaddle Chattle, it's a podcast, people get dressed up for things like this.
I wear a hat every week on the show.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. I've never seen this one before.
This is casual hat.
Yeah, it seems like, if you put a little sunglasses on, you kind of, here, look, put a little sunglasses on, and then we get you a cigarette holder, and everybody, it's Truman Capote. Look at this. He looks just like Truman Capote if we give him a cigarette holder. Hi, Truman Capote. Fucking Master Capote over there. Jedi Capote. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Truman.
I think what Filoni's trying to do is tie because all the cloning technology was on that planet. That planet, those people, that species, their whole specialty was cloning. And all the cloning technology in the galaxy was on that planet. And this guy the bad guy at the end of Bad Batch season 3 or 2 is trying to get that cloning technology back. So that he's kind of the tie-in guy. I think he was the mentor to the other scientist guy that we saw in Mando season 3, the one that gets tortured at the end.
That guy?
I think that the guy that gets tortured at the end, he's the connecting tissue.
All right, but
I know you don't like to talk about any of this.
Do you really think they're going to they have any interest in connecting the Bad Batch? Seriously? The answer is no. Don't be such a nerd, a Star Wars fruitcake. They didn't fucking integrate Star Wars Resistance, that animated shit show.
It's not like...
I look at fucking Bad Batch on the same level as Resistance, brother. They were two shows that are for 6-year-olds. And that's fine.
But did
fine.
Resistance have Filoni's name on it?
He was an EP. Okay. He just wasn't there day to day, and he wasn't on Bad Batch day to day. I think he had a little more love for Bad Batch because
he created it, didn't he?
Well, his animation style, it was more, Resistance went a new direction, more of an anime 2D thing, and the Clone Wars has that computer graphics.
Did you hear that they closed the Singapore office?
No.
For Lucasfilm Animation.
Oh my God! Well, what are all my Singapore friends gonna do now? Now that they're out of a job.
No, it was so. I saw this trending on a lot of social media platforms. I saw they're closing Lucasfilm Animation, and then everyone in the comments
in Singapore,
and everyone in the comment section was like, "No, it's just in Singapore.
Yeah,
it's just in Singapore." I mean, it's Disney. It's owned by Disney now.
You know what happens too after they clone all the employees? As they're walking out, they all have to get caned 10 times.
Oh yeah, they're cloning. Do you hear about what some of these companies want to do now? With extras and shit like that. when you do extra work, they want you to sign away your likeness.
They copy your image so that you're just gonna see yourself popping up in the background of all kinds of movies and shit.
So, like, if you were an extra in like a baseball or football movie,
you could be an extra in Star Wars.
Well, not an extra in Star Wars, but anytime there's like a baseball or football movie, now you'll be the sport fan in the back, like behind the dugout,
in the crowd,
or behind the coach.
It's like, wow. It's like fucking Marlins man. Do you know who that is? He's a fucking asshole who wears an orange Marlins visor and an orange Marlins shirt, and yet he goes to every sporting event. It was like Yankees, fucking Red Sox. He'll be in the second row because Marlins man likes to be on TV. So he's an asshole. And in the 80s, they used to have the guy with the rainbow wig and the John 3:16 sign. But did you ever hear that? They did a 30 for 30 on that Fruit Loop, who fucking ended up taking people hostage in a motel and getting in a standoff with the cops. He had like 3 rifles and took a whole bunch of people, took like a couple, or one person at least, hostage.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but there was a rainbow wig guy from the 80s who was on every Super Bowl. He would be John 3:16, and he was always there. So that's what Florida Marlins man is now. Okay. All right, listen, we got to get out of here. I was going to do top 10 villains, according to me, due to Thrawn.
Do you want to do that instead of a cage match?
All right. Fair enough. We always give you a cage match. These are the top 10 villains, according to me, and me only. And this is because we're getting Grand Admiral Thrawn. And bros, I'm excited. I read the Timothy Zahn trilogy when it came out, and in fact, I read it twice. Once I finished the 3rd book, I fucking picked it up and started all over again. I actually did 2 book reports, one in 8th grade, and then one in high school, where they had us stand up and deliver fucking the thing, and in both cases, I got A's.
And you used the same report?
No, different books.
Oh, okay.
In 8th grade, it was the first book, and then in high school, it was the second book.
You know, that's like if teachers find out you reused a report for one class for another.
Yeah.
They'll fail you. It's like bullshit.
Yeah, fuck them. You know why? I used the same paper 3 levels. 8th grade, high school, and college. This is true. And it's Yaddle appropriate. Where I had to do in grade school, and then in high school, and then in college, because of Fordham University with the Jesuits, we had to do like a paper about God and bring God in pop culture. And every fucking time it was that the Force is a stand-in for God. Which is not very creative, but I wrote like pages upon pages upon pages. Like the assignment was like 3 pages long, and I wrote like 15 pages of the Force in Star Wars. All 3 levels I got A's. So don't reuse a paper? Bullshit. All right, wait, hold on, quit. I got 2 minutes to do this.
Okay.
Based on Thrawn, here are the top 10 Star Wars villains according to Darth David. Number 10, Grievous.
Okay.
See if you have a problem with any of these. Number 9, General Hux. Number 8, Tarkin. Grand Moff Tarkin.
Kind of surprised he's that low.
Number 7, Count Dooku.
Okay.
Number 6, Darth Maul.
Okay.
Number 5, Boba Fett. Obviously, original trilogy era.
Okay.
Number 4, Kylo Ren.
Okay.
Number 3, Jabba.
Okay.
Number 2, Vader.
Yes.
Number 1, the Emperor. There's that is some controversy right there because a lot of people would be putting Vader number 1. The other reason why Thrawn isn't here is he's not appeared in live action. I need him to be appearing in live action before he even comes close to this list. What do you think? Give us our disagreements. You got 1 minute to tell Darth David where he went wrong.
I would probably put Tarkin 4.
Tarkin 4.
I don't...
you would put him above Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren was at number 4. You'd put Tarkin there.
Yes.
Do you like the Emperor number 1, Vader number 2, Jabba number 3?
Yes.
Do you have an issue with the Emperor being number 1 and not Vader? Even though, obviously, in terms of power, the Emperor was there. But Vader, as in terms of pop culture characters, probably bigger influence.
Originally, yeah. But if you take the entire trilogy into consideration, there's nothing redeeming about the Emperor, whereas Vader redeems himself.
How about Boba at number 5 and Maul at number 6? Issues with those?
I mean, Boba's an anti-hero. He's kind of just doing his job. He's not really a bad guy.
Well, that'll do it.
Okay.
Minus 3,000 points. Your analyst was terrible. He said, hi, Jared. I'm Darth Davis, been Yaddle Chattle. We'll see you next week for the Ahsoka title premiere episode. Goodbye.